And my last project, did I forget to put it in my notes? I totally forgot to put it in my notes. Okay, that's okay. I think I know the gist of it. Hello, my name is Michelle, and this is Michelle's Fiber Studio Podcast. Today is Wednesday, May 7th, and this is episode number 48. I first want to address, I am sitting in a different spot in my house. My son came home from college pretty late, actually, last night. He got home just before 8 o'clock at night, and all his stuff got brought in, and it's over in the corner where I normally sit and podcast. So rather than try to get him to move his things, I figured I would just try a new location. Although I have to say, I'm kind of liking this spot. Maybe this will be my new spot because I am situated in my rocking chair, and the corner there is where my projects live on the daily. I don't think I can actually show you fully behind without having to totally relocate everything, and I've pulled stuff out. So it's handy, but setup was really quick and easy, so I don't know, maybe I'll stay here. I think that's all I have to share at the top of the episode. So since I don't have Marta, that's the one downfall of being in this corner, is there's no real good spot for me to put Marta. So she is not being featured in this episode. Let's go ahead and jump right on in on what is on my blocking board. I have a finished object. I finished my husband's Musselburgh. Oh, I am so happy to have this one off the needles. I haven't blocked it yet. I probably should, but here it is in all its glory. I finished it on, I don't remember what day it was, Friday, maybe? I think it was Friday of last week. So I had hoped to knit to, because he wanted this one to be long enough so that he could fold the brim and have the four layers thick on this part, which works. It probably, he would have liked it to have been just a little bit longer, but I honestly ran out of yarn. That's what I have left. So I noticed that I was starting to run close, and I decided to weigh my yarn. Thank goodness I did, because I was trying to knit to 19 inches and I was at like 16 and a half or maybe 17, and I weighed the yarn and I had enough for like one more round, and because I knew I needed about 9 grams to be able to do the crown decreases, and I was just about there. So I did like 1 or 2 more rounds and did my decreases, and yeah, I've got just a teeny tiny little bit left, but this is off the needles, so I am very grateful for that. One last time, the yarn was my Yarnables yarn, and it was my January subscription called Intergalactic. We are big Star Trek fans in my house, so he definitely liked the name. He liked the colors too. It's a little, I think it's a little purpley, but he says he doesn't mind it. But he did like the idea of the intergalactic theme, which is what the theme was in January. So that is what I have finished. So without further ado, let us move on to what is in my project bag. So the big project that I've been working on this week is my secret ingredient shawl. So I think what I'll do is I'll show you the progress I have made, which is quite a bit actually. I have, so remember I am working in 2 sides, so that is the middle. This is side 1. This is side 2. And so last week I was here And I have gotten all of this done. So through here was the second clue. And then I decided, even though it was side 2, to just continue right on into clue 3. That way I wouldn't have to cut my yarns and have extra ends to weave in. And I think I have just a little bit left on clue 3. I think I have a few more rows of this whiter color, and then I have to do the little eyelet, the purple and red. There's another one of those up here, and then I move into clue 5 of this side 2. So I've decided that's what I'm going to be doing at this point, is just finishing a whole side. That way I can determine and decide if I want to carry yarns instead of having to continuously cut them and I've got so many ends to weave in already. And part of that is just because you're carrying all these colors because of the fact that these were clues that were released on a weekly basis. So, do we want to talk about the yarn? Sure, I might as well talk about the yarn. So I am using all yarn from my stash. This color here is leftovers from my Amayo, and it is the Haute Knit Yarns Jimmy Sock in Summer Clover. I'm also using this mohair. The lighting isn't that great in this corner, but and that is also from Haute Knit. It is the Abigail mohair in 38. And then I am using 2 yarns from my Yarnables yarn. So this one here is Love Language, and I'm actually holding that one with the mohair. So they get held double, and it comes out pretty good actually. And then my 4th color is also from my Yarnables yarn, and it is my red, which is Picnic Basket. So I decided last week that I wanted to make a plan. My goal is to get this shawl done. I leave on May 20th for Michigan for 5 days for the Odyssey of the Mind Worlds tournament. I am going to be in the score room working on tracking scores and compiling all the scores and all of that. And I want this done before I go so that when I come home, I can have a fresh start with something new. And I just don't want to think about it anymore because it's been going on far too long. I started it on January 29th, and I love the project, but I'm frankly over it. So what I ended up doing is creating myself a plan, which I know I've talked about this in the past. I first saw this planning and method of planning by Nitty Natty, Natalie from Nitty Natty. And I don't do this every month. I do it mostly when I have some goals and I have some things that I want to accomplish. So the first thing I did is I listed the projects that I'm currently working on and that I hope to get done, and I listed out what needed to happen for each one. So I think right here is my secret ingredient. So I listed each of the clues, I listed the total number of rows, and that way I could break down how much I needed to get done. I also, my Northeasterly blanket, which I will pull out, I want to work on 1 color a day, and then I listed out for my Knit It Down sweater the sections that I had to get done for that. Then for last week, so I actually started with May 1st, which was Thursday, because that's the day that I sat down and finished it. My goal from May 1st through Sunday was to complete clue 3, to do 4 colors in my Northeasterly, and to complete the yoke on my Knit It Down sweater. So you can see that I did 2 of the 3. And then I continued my plan for this week and then for next week, which essentially is the amount of time that I have left before I am traveling. I know I'm not going to get caught up in all of my colors in the Northeasterly blanket by the time I leave, and I'm definitely not going to get the Knit It Down sweater done by then. But I wanted this is the project that I want to get done because Yeah, I can do it. So it's, when I do project planning like that and I work on that it just helps me to stay focused, and I oftentimes actually move through things more quickly than how I plan, which I guess is a good thing. I don't know if I just underplan, like underplan over deliver, or I don't know, or if I do actually get motivated because I have a plan to then move through it a little bit more quickly. I try to be generous with myself as I'm creating the plan and not plan something too aggressive. I knew when I was creating the plan last week that completing the yoke on my sweater, I had 18 more rows to go. I knew that was probably going to be a little aggressive, but I was okay with that. And actually I didn't even touch it. I'm not even going to pull the knit it down out because I just didn't touch it all of last week. Because of course I filmed last Wednesday and then I created the plan on Thursday. And since then I've been focusing on this. So it's working. I really am pretty happy with the way that is turning out, and it's definitely keeping me on target and motivated to continue. All right, so that's that project. Let's talk about my Northeasterly Blanket. Get it out here. I hope I moved my marker, and I don't know if I did. I think, yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure. So that's where I was last month. I was working, just starting my April colors. So I basically had one color done because I only did like 6 rows of the actual, of the day 1 color. So I did this yellow here, and this beautiful pink. And there's this one was kind of fun with the multicolor. I've got peachy colors and then like another yellowy color here. The one issue that I'm running into is these are supposed to be all the same, and I have some little mini skeins that I'm having plenty or just enough, like I'll end up with like, you know, this much extra, which is totally fine. I have a few, this has happened now probably 6 or 7 times. So this is the last color that I was working on, and you can see I'm out of yarn, and I still have to do like 1 more row across to complete this color. So I have a box of fingering weight scraps, and I've been kind of blending them in and adding them. I've just been doing a Russian joint. I think it's a Russian, no, it's not a Russian joint, a magic knot. And I join them with a magic knot, and I just do the last little bit, and it's working. And I don't think when all is said and done, actually, I had to do it in this pink one. Can you see the little bit of the difference, especially right here? But I think I actually started, and I think I had to do this whole last row with that extra color. I don't know if I have another one in this one, but I've had to do it in a few different places. And I know that there's variance in skeins, and that happens, but I didn't run into it for the first like 3 months, I think. I don't think I had a single problem. And now all of a sudden in the last couple of boxes, this has happened like with 2 or 3 colors in each box. So whatever, it's not the end of the world. Again, I'm using scraps, and I'm kind of trying to find a scrap that matches close enough, and when all is said and done, unless you're really looking for it, I don't think you're going to notice anyway, so it's really not a big deal. The one thing that I did decide to do for this project is the colors all come in a little envelope, and the envelopes are all in a box, and I decided that the box, the big little cardboard, well, it's little, it's not super big, but it still was taking up a lot of space in my project bag. So what I did is I took one of my cords from my interchangeable needle set, and I strung, so these are my last 5 colors for the month of April that I need to get done. So I just strung them on there. I know that this is the next color. By adding the stopper on the end, it keeps them from falling off, so I can let them slide all the way down. but it also helps me to keep it in order because I know obviously I can't pull this one off because it's on the stopper. So I just pull, when it's time, I just pull the next color. It's actually working really, really well, and I'm considering doing that. I'm looking across the room at the basket that is holding my Beauty and the Beast Advent, that I am doing my Bahama Advent shawl, which I will talk about next actually. And I'm considering doing the same thing for those because it'll just be, eliminates all the confusion about which end I should be pulling a color from. And with that one, I definitely want to keep them in order because I worked hard to create the gradient that I want. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. All right, so that's my Northeasterly Blanket. And I can actually show you. See, it's a good thing I'm sitting here because I can pull out a project that I forgot to grab. I finished my hat, and so I pulled my Cupid's bow socks out. And I didn't knit a ton, but I did do a little bit, maybe an inch or so. We had a school dance on Friday that I chaperoned, and I brought these with me. And so I stood there and I walked around and I knit a little bit as I was chaperoning. So this is another Yarnables yarn. Super, super pretty. Oh, the lighting is not great. And I got all my windows right here. But this is my Cupid's bow is the colorway. And it's another Yarnables yarn. It was my February Yarnables yarn. And so I started these back in February just before I went on vacation to Florida. I worked on them a little bit, actually not as much as I thought that I might, especially with all the driving we did. I ended up working on some other things, but they really got set aside once I got home, and in favor especially of the hat when I wanted easy knitting. But this is now moved into my easy knitting spot. So if we're going out to eat or anywhere where I just need easy, simple knitting, this is going to be the project that I grab. They'll definitely come with me to Michigan. They'll be great to throw into my bag if I have time in between things during the day or while we're driving or whatever. So that is a really quick update on the Cupid's bow socks. Drop those back in here. All right. And my last project, did I forget to put it in my notes? I totally forgot to put it in my notes. Okay, that's okay. I think I know the gist of it. I will have to make sure I add it into my notes for next time. But I have started my Bahama Advent scarf, which is by Toni Lipsey. It is not only a crochet project, but it is a Tunisian crochet project. My yarn is all caught up here in my hook because a Tunisian crochet hook has a cord on it with an end stopper. And so when you do Tunisian crochet, I haven't got very far, but this is, show you the right side. Here we go. So that's what I have. This is a pattern that was written for DK weight yarn. And I decided that I wanted to use my Beauty and the Beast Advent, which is a fingering weight yarn. So I thought that I would hold the yarn double. And it's working, and I'm loving the pattern. I'm really, really enjoying the pattern. But I am feeling like the overall project is just, it's very squishy. It's very squishy. And it even has some pretty good drape, but it's just thicker than I like my projects to be. And I'm thinking about this being wrapped in around my neck as like because I will wear this as a scarf, basically like a decorative scarf. This is not, for me, this is not intended to be like a coat scarf that I would wear when I'm going out, but a scarf that I would wear all day long. And I think it's just a little too thick. So last night I got online and I ordered myself an interchangeable Tunisian hook set from Amazon. I think it was $40 for 12 different hook sizes, I think, with various a few different size cords and the stoppers and all of that. That actually should be here tomorrow. And I am gonna try that and see if I like it. I will just, it's a basic pattern. So it's not like, I need to really make any adjustments because it's a 1 row pattern. The repeat is 14, it's a 14, multiples of 14 plus 1 extra stitch. So I will just have to figure out how many I want to cast on, chain on, to get the width that I want. And then I will do that. And then I'm just gonna have to think about how I want to blend my colors to fade from one into the other. My original plan when I was holding the yarn double is that I would stop this first color, one of the strands of this first color early, and I was gonna add in the second color and use up the rest of this color with the second color, and then so it would be staggered that way. And that would have worked out well as far as the fade goes, but I'm not holding 2 together, so I can't do that. I'll probably will have to do like an every other row, but I'm not sure. I'll play with it when I get to it, but I think I'm gonna be happier if it's not quite so thick. So I'm eager to give that a try and see how that goes. I started this on Monday, I think. I had had just a really long day. I was pretty tired, and I worked on my secret ingredient, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to do something really fun and enjoyable. So I've been kind of itching to cast that one on or get it on the hook. And so I did. I got it started, but that'll be a fun one. That definitely is going to be the one of the projects I bring with me when I head to Michigan as well. So that is all the projects that I have in my yarn bag. I don't have any yarn dreams or project dreams. I do have a new yarn acquisition though. I received my May Yarnables box. So if you are a Yarnables subscriber and you have not yet received your box, then this is your warning to skip ahead to the next section. I always put little markers so you should be able to find my next section. But I am going to show you what I got. So let's start with the goodies. They always come in these little pouches, of which I have a gazillion now. I'm not quite sure what to do with all of them. It was a lemon themed. So the first thing I got is this Petty in a Box lemon quench for a little pedicure. So it's got a sea salt soak, sugar scrub, and a massage butter. So that sounds amazing. I don't know when I'll have the opportunity to do that. Maybe I can try to do that this weekend for Mother's Day. That could be kind of fun. So that was the first thing. Then I had this little tin of Citrus Delights. They're like little candies, I guess. Yeah, basically. So isn't that cute though, this little container? And then the last thing are, I haven't had some of these in a long time, with some lemon car fresheners, a set of 2 air fresheners. So that will be fun to hang in my car. You can't really smell it, but I do love lemon scented things. So that will be fun. All right, you ready to see the yarn? It's really pretty. So the name of it is Squeeze the Day. And look, there it is. Yellow and green. It's more of a yellow, but you got a little bit of the lime kind of in there as well. So let's see, Squeeze the Day. So again, Yarnables, I haven't talked about this in a while, but Yarnables is a monthly subscription-based service that comes, again, once a month. You can choose to get, I get the plush sock. You can also get a DK, and I believe you can get 1 skein or 2 skeins, and I believe this year she added the option for you to get just yarn or yarn with the goodies. And I don't know if that is true for both the fingering weight as well as the DK weight, or if you can get just the fingering weight yarn by itself. I do know she only opens up every so often, and I don't think she's currently open, but you can certainly, I will put the link below, you can click on that and you can add your name to the waiting list. She opens up for new subscribers every 2 or 3 months, I'd say that happens. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I absolutely love it. The yarn is delightful. Really, really love the yarn. I like that I get, well, it's just a fun surprise, But I also like that I'm getting lots of different colors into my yarn stash that I wouldn't necessarily go for, but it's helping to kind of round out my stash in a good way. So that is this week's yarn acquisition. All right, day to day. Let's see. I recorded on Wednesday, so last Thursday I think was fairly quiet. Nothing notable. At least I don't have anything in my notes. On Friday, we did another one of the visits to the elementary schools. Those are my favorite things. I really love them. We did one yesterday as well. I have another one coming up this Friday, and then I'll have 2 more this week. But I just love that opportunity to go and connect with the new students that are coming in, to make myself known, to kind of help to demystify the middle school. So, and I bring with me 6 of my current students who came from those elementary schools. So it's not good opportunity for them to go back and kind of visit and be like the leaders, and I have them share different things that they like about the middle school, have them help me answer questions and that kind of a thing. And so the kids have done a really good job with that. So that was on Friday. We did one of the schools, and then Friday night we had the last all-school dance, which I offered to chaperone. So that's always, yeah, I don't want to say a good time. It's a time. They do good. I mean, it's not that bad. It's just, it's an hour and a half of monitoring kids, walking around for an hour and a half. Honestly, can be a little bit boring. Because they're good. They're good kids and they don't cause trouble. So you're just there to be an extra set of eyes, and when they're not causing trouble, which is what you want, then it means you don't have a whole lot to do. So that's a good thing. On Saturday, I picked up my mom and we drove down to Portland to see if I could find a dress that I can wear to my daughter's wedding. My daughter is getting married this summer, and she wants me to wear red because she's marrying a Chinese American, and red is a traditional color used in Chinese weddings. So she wants me in red. I had actually picked up a dress last weekend, or well, the weekend before, and I'll pop a picture in. I'm not sure, well, I am sure now. At the time when I bought it, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it. It needs to be shortened, and I kind of want to do something different with the top. I don't like the spaghetti straps, but I did get some ideas when we went shopping. I actually tried on exactly one dress. There were some really pretty dresses out there, but not a lot of red. And at the end of it, I decided I liked the dress that I'd already picked up better. So I did get a pair of shoes though. So that was fun, but we spent the whole day together. We had lunch together. It was a good day. It was a lot of fun. And I have some plans for what I'm going to do with my dress and make it so that it works for me, but it'll be fun. It was good. Sunday was kind of a day for errands and some housework. I really kind of hoped by like 4:30 to be able to sit down and knit, and it was like 6:45. I was finally able to sit. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I was out all day on Saturday. Like, I got home after leaving mom at her house. I got home and we immediately left to go and visit with my mother-in-law. So yeah, Sunday at 6:45 is when I finally stopped. Yeah, it is. Sometimes we have weekends like that. I think this weekend will be relatively quiet. I don't know if I dare say it or not, because things tend to pop up, but hopefully it'll be a little quieter this weekend. And then this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. It has been so much fun. Our PTO has sponsored the vast majority of it. Our administrator is running a couple of things as well, but we have a Star Wars theme. I've got a couple of pictures I will post in here. We've had some contests. We had a bingo game on Monday, and yesterday was trivia. Today we had a scavenger hunt, and so we had to do some different things. I had to do like a TikTok video, and not really to submit on TikTok, but we did like a TikTok challenge, and we had to recreate the Friends scene. There was a couch that was in the middle of one of the hallways. We had to go recreate that. It was a lot of fun. So it's good. It's really great to be recognized. Teaching is hard, and being in education is hard. So it's wonderful when we are recognized for the efforts that we put in every day. So we're in the home stretch though. There's 28 days left and before summer break, and I know we are all very much looking forward to it. So oh, and the last thing, my son came home from college, like I said, yesterday. He got home for the summer, so it'll be nice to have him home all summer long as well. So with that, I hope, well, before I say I hope you have a good week, I will have links below in the show notes of all of the things that I have talked about. If you enjoyed this podcast, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe so you know when I have posted new episodes. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Knittin Michelle, KNITTINMICHELLE. You can also send me an email at michellesfiberstudio@gmail.com. And with that, I hope you have a great week and happy knitting.